Hi, this is Eric Looper, and this is my buddy Dan. We are going to go over a good deep hip stretch today. A lot of times patients have restrictions or dysfunction in their hip, and we talk a little bit about how to mobilize the hips and get better range of motion in there, because good hip mobility will take pressure out of the back. So we're going to talk about some just one basic hip stretch. And the nice thing about this hip stretch is you can do this anywhere. You can do this sitting on the couch while your favorite TV show is on. You can do this sitting at your desk at work once you get the hang of how to do it. So the way to start this stretch is to bring one ankle up onto the opposite knee. I want you putting one hand on the ankle and the other hand on the knee. Don't press down here, just use that hand to stabilize. What I'm going to ask you to do is sit up nice and tall, almost like there's a cable pulling your head right up to the ceiling. Sit up nice and tall and press that chest forward like you're trying to touch the wall across from you. You should feel the stretch deep in the hip of the leg that is elevated. This is a stretch you want to hold for a long time. You're going to hold this stretch for about 40 seconds. And the reason for that is because we're taking the femur head, which is the top of the leg bone, which is right in that hip, we're drawing it out somewhat and we're rotating it. So we're rotating, we're stretching a lot of muscles, a lot of ligaments, and a lot of other elements in that hip. So it's a stretch you want to hold for a little bit longer than most stretches. If you think of the drumstick on a chicken, it's all of that musculature around into the hip. So this is the drumstick on people. We want to give a nice good stretch there. You're going to hold that for about 40 seconds. You're going to drop that leg down to the floor, lift the other leg up, and do the same thing on the other side. Nice and tall, and then push that chest forward like you're trying to touch the wall on the opposite side of the room. A little more advanced way to do this stretch, if you'd like to play with the angles a little bit and push your chest maybe toward your foot, you'll feel it stretch into the hip a little bit differently. And you can also stretch toward the knee as well, coming back up and stretch toward that knee. You can do that as well. And you should feel it stretching different elements in that hip. So if you feel one angle is particularly sore, then you want to accentuate that stretch a little bit or do a little longer into those angles. You want to do that stretch 3 times each side. So some people will go straight for 1 repetition, go toward the foot for another repetition, and toward the knee for a 3rd. If you want to get a little fancy with that, bring the other leg up again. If you want to get a little bit fancy with that, sit up nice and tall and press forward into our normal stretch. In the last 10 seconds or so of the stretch, you can collapse down almost like a dancer stretch. You should feel that stretch pull up into the lower part of the lumbar spine and stretch those lower elements in the spine as well. So you'll do 3 times each side, 40 seconds per repetition, and you're all done.